It did do that. Okay. Heck yeah, man. Let's go.
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
Oh yes.
Think Mid
Oh,
might need
yes.
well-meaning souls to leave her alone.
Hey, Crip, what's up, man? No, this is live. Yes, there's another stream tomorrow. There are 2 streams, one for today and one for tomorrow. So tonight we're doing chapter 35 and probably a good chunk of 36, and then tomorrow we're gonna do chapter 37, which is when the story is picking up again. Right now it's kind of just more relaxed, right? Like it's kind of the bits where like you're just walking around talking to people, getting Mid whatever she needs, doing the hunts, that kind of stuff. Speaking of that, there is a hunt I can do right now, and it's the S rank hunt. It's this one, the Breaker of Worlds. I'm gonna wait though. I want to get like the next bit of the quest for Mid, and then once I get some fighting done like under my belt, just so I can get used to the combat system again, because I do that every time. I keep forgetting how to play, so that way like I'm ready to tackle the S rank, and then we can do it. And also, hey Crypt, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing great. You did side quest last night for FF16. I don't know why I'm starting to speed text through them.
Storehouse in the bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Oh damn, dude! It's a follow-up to that quest we did. Damn. Where's the where am I going? Okay. I did encrypt. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So I'm excited for the expansion, obviously, because it's Mericidia. Sorry, it's not Mericidia, which makes me happy, because I wasn't super interested in Mericidia. I was way more interested in the new world, which is where we're going. So I'm very, very excited for that. However, the trailer didn't do much for me. I liked the areas they showed, but there's 2 things. The CGI for the NPCs that we know and love was weird to me. There was something in the animation that just made it kind of almost uncanny valley. It was weird. It was like almost too cartoonish. Like their expression was too like deformed. I really don't know how to explain it. It just looked weird. It didn't look natural whatsoever. Yeah, they do. The other part that didn't excite me, and that's more of like a thing about the entire expansion probably, is because we don't know anything about the story, is a big part of what made it exciting every time we got an expansion before was that it was continuing the story. So you like, it wasn't a trailer for like FF 2.0. Like it wasn't a trailer for A Realm Reborn. It was a trailer for you know, Heavensward. So like you had all the baggage before. You were like, oh my god, where are we going? What's happening? And then like you know, you got the next bit, and then the next bit after that, which was even crazier, and then like Endwalker, which was insane. And it was kind of this build up, right? Now that it's kind of over, this felt like I was watching the trailer for A Realm Reborn. And if you watch a trailer for A Realm Reborn again, there's not much, right? Because they don't want to spoil the ending. The patches weren't done at that point, so mostly it's just like showing you a couple cities, a few NPCs, and just like there's nothing else to show, right? And the trailer they showed for Dawn Trails was kind of that way. Also, Dawn Trail, I really don't like the name. I just don't find it interesting. I like the first part. Like Dawn is nice. Trail kind of it doesn't roll off the tongue. It kind of it's a clunky name. I feel like Endwalker just like flows, like Shadowbringers flows. Heaven's Word flows super well. Down Trail, like you have to make you have to make a pause between the two words. You can't even like make it in one word. Right, that makes sense. So yeah, so there'll probably be and also the song wasn't like didn't grab me at all. Like usually every time there's a new trailer, the song they make for that trailer is always super interesting, and it's always the song you hear for the login screen. That song that we heard just didn't do anything for me at all. In fact, it sounded almost like it was like somebody else making Soken music. It sounded like they were taking bits of like some sounds from like Shadowbringers and some sounds maybe from Endwalker's song and just making another song with it, like an AI remixed the song or something. Like Dawnbreaker would have been so much better. Yes. Oh, so much better. Like not even a question. So as much as I'm excited, because I'm always excited for more FF14 main story, it's always good. I am definitely not as excited as I thought I would be. Like I almost felt kind of slightly disappointed watching the trailer, which is kind of odd because that's never happened before. Right. And then like another thing is like the upgrade to the graphics, the textures, fantastic. The foliage, freaking amazing. The faces, I could barely tell the difference. And that's what bugged me the most. Is the fact that like my character is gonna look basically almost the same, which is kind of, I was expecting more. I was really hoping it would bring it to like the next gen almost, you know, and they're not doing that. So it's, yeah, exactly. I couldn't tell the difference. So I had to rewatch the trailer multiple times to be able to tell the difference between the different faces. Like it barely did anything to me, the faces. The rest of it though, like the textures, like just A1. The foliage, amazing. Like those flowers, oh my god, dude. Like the forest they showed, like it was always like a point that annoyed me. Like the Chocobo forest was like five trees, no foliage anywhere whenever you're in Heaven's Word. And like the same with like the Raktika Greatwood, right? Like it's like there's not much foliage. The foliage is like it's in the skybox basically of that zone almost. Like you just, it's not like in your, you don't feel like a canopy of trees. It's just like it's so high up that you just don't see it. So that's going to be nice. The fact that they're kind of hiding that stuff is going to be super nice. Yeah, I'm glad they're doing that too. Yeah. So long as like, the only thing that worries me is like Microsoft better keep their hands off buying, like trying to buy Square Enix. Mostly because I don't want anybody to buy Square Enix. I wouldn't want Sony to buy them either. But I'm very, very happy though that more gamers are going to be able to enjoy Square Enix games, just JRPGs in general. And it's only great that for the game too, like for FF14 to have like another like fan base. It's going to bring in so many new players. It's going to be awesome. Like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I'm very glad that like more fans are going to be able to enjoy the games. Very, very happy. And the reason why I'm more worried about like Microsoft trying to buy them and stuff, it's because they're trying to make a big push towards the West basically. They're noticing that like most of their money is coming from the West nowadays. That's why they made FF16 the way it is, because they were trying to appeal more to the West. And whenever they saw the sale numbers in Japan and that no, like in comparison to the West, the sales were super low in Japan, they said they didn't care. essentially. Like, not in so many words, but like basically that's what it meant. Like they just don't care that they're not selling in Japan anymore. So they're saying like the West is like the cash cow, the possible place to make money. So that's what scares me, is I'm scared that like they're going to be like, oh well, we might as well just, like, if Microsoft buys this, then we make a bunch of money and then we keep releasing games in the West, which is exactly what we want to do anyway. Like and the other part that worries me with that, the fact that they're focusing so much on the West, is like I don't find it as interesting. Like, part of what makes JRPGs interesting, it's because it comes from an entirely different culture and an entirely different point of view. So the way they tell stories, the way they approach certain subjects is completely different, because they have different sensibilities and stuff, and that's foreign to me. So that's what's interesting. If you make everything Game of Thrones, I'm going to lose interest extremely fast. So like right now I'm enjoying it, but like if every other FF game looks like this going forward, I'm probably going to lose interest at some point. Like a one-off is fine, you know, or maybe they make like another game that's kind of that way too later down the line, that's fine. But if they make every single game like this, super dark with like more like a Western kind of vibe to them, like I'm probably going to lose interest. I like Western games, but like not as much as I like JRPGs. I like them sparingly. So yeah, I don't know. It's bothering me a little bit in that sense. However, like I said, I'm very, very happy that they're patching up things with Microsoft. I mean, it's better for everybody. Like just gamers in general, like gamers as a whole are winning today. And FF14 fans are winning big time, because more fans, more people playing means more money, means more content. Like it will snowball. It's great news. Yeah, that's great. I'm very excited for that. And also like the announcement like of the systems and stuff. Like I mean, I'm happy with the 2-die thing. That's great. The whole glasses with a helmet on, I didn't care much for it, but at the same time, like it's cool that it's a thing. But like there are two things that are, to me, it just blows my mind. I mean, female Rotgar is really, I thought that Yoshi P said that he wanted to add them down the line, so I assumed it would be in this expansion. I'm kind of sad that it doesn't seem like it is. Maybe, or unless they're waiting for like another FanFest. But the one thing that like bugs me is like he went for like glasses to fit with hats before making hats fit on Viera and Rotgar. And that bugs me. Like, that annoys me. Because there's so many people playing those races, myself included, and I can't wear most hats. I have to, I literally have to mod the game, which is against their terms of service, but yeah, that's the only way that I can make my character look the way I want it to look, with the hats. Like just take the code from the mod and just put it in the game, damn it. Like somebody else already made all the work of making them fit on every single hat. Like, it's weird that they went for like such, they're like, oh, we got so many requests. Like, do you know how many requests you got for hats on Viera and Rotgar? Jesus Christ, man. He also said that he would make an effort to do that down the line. It still hasn't happened. So that annoys me too. So like, I'm glad for people that wanted eyeglasses with hats, because they're getting what they want. But like, I feel like a lot of like fans are waiting for hats under Viera or Rotgar, and they're just not getting it, or they're not even getting an acknowledgement. Like, it just, so it's kind of annoying. And yeah, the jobs. I am still, like, somebody else on Twitter disagree with me, but I'm still persuaded that it's going to be Geomancer. For the caster, that is. Mostly because of what I mentioned in on Discord, like the breakdown. Like, I'm sure that's what it's going to be. Yeah, Switch 2 rumors are heating up too. Yeah, I saw that. So like I'm sure that it's Geomancer because the TNMT t-shirt, that was the hint. And like there was a movie called Turtles in Time, and then like there's a quest in FF14 that's called Tortoise in Time, and that's given to you by a turtle to go and get a sigil of geomancy. That's literally what the quest is about. You just go to find a sigil of geomancy. So like to me that's what makes most sense, because people are like, oh well, maybe it could be a fighter with like a bow staff or something. Like no, there's no way. It's gonna be something weird. Yeah, I'm sure it's Geomancer because of those. Yeah, you thought it was funny. Yeah, it was. It always makes a hint with the t-shirt, and I'm like, that's what I thought it was going to be. And people started like trying to figure out what it could be, and somebody else said like, oh, maybe Geomancer, but they didn't extrapolate on it. And then I was like, but how did he get to that conclusion? And then I kind of started like kind of looking up online the different quest names and different things on like something that had to do maybe with turtles in the game. And then it's when I noticed like Genbu, which is like an NPC, and you give him the sigil of geomancy, and it's like, and then I noticed the name of the quest, and I was like, oh my god, it's the name of one of the Turtles movies. Yeah, Phil looked extremely like, that was weird. Phil looked extremely tired, and he looked extremely awkward, because he was just like, he came out right, and people were not really applauding at first. Like people were kind of like semi-applauding, and when they said it was always because the game is coming to Xbox, and I feel like that's when people started applauding, because beforehand I feel, and I feared that too, is that he was coming out on the stage to say that, oh, by the way, we acquired Square Enix or something. That's what scared me at first, and that's why I was like, oh no. And then he was like, oh, it's just, oh yeah, and that too, yeah, the translation as well, because he had to like whenever like Yoshi P said anything, you had to wait for the translation, and then like the new CEO said stuff in broken English because he's trying so hard to speak English, but it's kind of probably harder to understand. And then like at some point he switched to Japanese, and then he had to wait for the translation again, and it was just kind of, it was interesting. What scared me too at first is like, oh, I'm bringing in my good friend Phil Smith. I was like, oh no, like, oh no, is he gonna say that he bought Square Enix? I was scared. But then it was like, oh, it's on Xbox, great, awesome. And then the announcement towards the end too, when he said like, when the CEO was like, oh, and I'm telling you this as CEO of Square Enix. And I was like, oh no. And then he's like, we're gonna bring more games on Xbox. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like as soon as he said like, oh, as the CEO of Square Enix, I want to say, and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, thank God for that. That's great. It's great news. I'm very, very happy for Xbox fans. That's awesome. Nah. Not me. Oh, in that sense, yeah, for sure. But I think like it's unlikely in the sense that like I don't think Japanese law allows them to be bought by Microsoft. Microsoft would have to like register a company with another name in Japan owned by Japanese people, and then they could buy Square Enix. There's like something in the law that makes it so they can be bought by like an external thing, or it's complicated. It's very, very complicated. And also like I don't think they're willing to sell. I mean, the problem is like now there's a new CEO, so like I don't know what he thinks, but like the other CEO, I remember when I worked there, there were rumors that they had received like a big offer from like Stadia to buy them, and they said they just laughed and said no. But maybe it was because it was Stadia, maybe. If Microsoft did it, maybe it'd be different, especially because they have a lot of money to throw around. So I don't know. Yeah, but like they don't need to. That's what I hate, man. Microsoft needs to release good games. They need to stop buying all the studios because buying studios don't make good games. So far, their track records with the studios they already own is very poor. So like they need to you know, like just stop spending money just on buying studios, develop good games, release good games, get the ball rolling, and then whatever. Because like buying studios doesn't do ish if you can't make good games with them, you know. Yeah, that's the other annoying thing is you don't need to buy a studio to have something on Game Pass. But like acquiring studios is the bane of gaming. One of the banes of gaming. The other one being like microtransactions and stuff. But like mostly like just consolidation of the industry is really bad. I would much prefer if like studios did timed exclusives. That way you get like a bit of both worlds. You get like the people that want like exclusives, they still get them, right? So they still get like their tribalism, console war BS. But then everybody else can still enjoy those games. It just takes a while before they get the game, but they will still be able to enjoy it. Like I'd settle for for the big console makers to do timed exclusives for like 6 months to a year maximum, and then people can enjoy the game on the platform of their choice if it wasn't the one it was on in the first place. I'd settle for that. It's not my preference. I would prefer games to just release on everything, but like in a world where like it's just that just can't happen, then I prefer timed exclusive to acquiring companies entirely. Because the problem I have with acquiring companies is like, yeah, Phil Spencer is cool and all, and right now you would allow people to be on Nintendo, but Phil Spencer is not God. Eventually he will either leave the company because he will retire, or he will die and somebody else will take its place, and that new person might just decide that nope, every game stays on the console and that's it, and then the company's screwed because it's stuck there. It can't leave. That's the main issue, right? Like if the company remains like a third party, then it doesn't matter who's the CEO of Xbox. It can deal with that new person and kind of make bridges or burn bridges. But like people have such a narrow view of those things. They're like, well, Phil said that. Yeah, but Phil is just a person that can be replaced. They're like, oh, Phil would never let it, like, it's just a dude. Like eventually he will leave, and then the company won't leave. She'll still be part of Microsoft, and then whoever is in charge at that point can just make whatever rules they want, and we won't have a say in it. Nobody will, like not even the company, because they're stuck there. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Encrypt. There's nothing preventing the new CEO of Xbox down the line to be a huge a-hole and just being like getting super cocky and just changing the rules and just like screwing up gamers. Yeah, it's scary. Scary stuff. Right.
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Dude, I find that so cool that they're kind of, you revisit this place and now people are talking about war and stuff, and like it's it's like the world changed because of the quest we did earlier. And it wasn't it a side quest? It was like a green quest, wasn't it? Like, that's crazy. It wasn't even like a quest with like a plus, or that kind of blows my mind actually. Like the side quest had an impact on the world. I didn't expect that. I thought maybe if it was a side quest with a plus, it would impact the game more, or if it was like part of the main story, obviously, like a side main story quest. Like right now, Letting Off Steam is like the side story quest from Out of the Shadow. I didn't realize that like just standard side quests could like impact it that much too. Mobs here didn't grow in strength though. A lot of zones, they do. Not here. Wait, oh, I swapped it. Wait. I thought it was an Ifrit.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The,
I agree.
ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
I think it works with Cloud because he's surrounded with such colorful characters at all times. The problem with Clive is a lot of the time he's alone. So it doesn't kind of work as much. I personally prefer my party like FF7 or FF10, probably even more so FF10, just because like every character is such a different personality, like very clearly defined, and you just like it's so interesting. Just seeing them talk and stuff is super interesting. In this game, it's like I don't feel that way at all. Clive and Sid was good, yes, and Gav is good too. But not every character is. Like Jill, for example, is kind of not super interesting. She's also like kind of muted, and the problem is like she's with you all the time. It would have been nicer if Mid was with you all the time, because Mid could totally just like play off of like Clive's dryness. Jill is too muted, so like she's too reserved and too muted, so it doesn't pop enough. So like her and Clive kind of like just they're in the same kind of vibe, and it just doesn't. There's nothing kind of like interesting about their dynamic on screen. I feel like the more interesting thing would have been like the clash between like the personality of someone like Mid with Clive, or like we had with Sid, like the personality of Sid with Clive, or Gav with Clive.
Anybody home?
Isn't that where we fought the Griffin? Oh, this guy. Okay, we fought one of these before.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
I think it was the first hunt we ever fought. Oh wow, I didn't see that. Let's go, man. Doom. Let's go, man. Not just live though. There's a lot of issues with this game. I feel like it's missing a lot of like interesting elements that I prefer from like the other FF games. You know, not saying it's a bad game or anything, obviously, because I'm enjoying myself thoroughly. Otherwise, I wouldn't play it. But it's. I made a list the other day of like my favorite FFs, and it doesn't even rank. It's not even in the top 5.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
But I can't fault the game on many things. Like, for example, I can't fault the game on like graphics, for example, or music, or combat is super fun, or like the voice acting is superb, and the story is kind of interesting too. There's just, like you said, like it's not that the game is like badly made on any of those fronts necessarily. It's more like it's missing sauce. There's something I can't quite put my finger on that I feel it's missing for me to be able to be like, this is like the best game I've ever played or something. Like that's why it kind of goes lower in the scores or the ranking. My top 3 I think remains it's FF14 first, FF10 after that, then FF12. Then it's a toss-up between FF7, the original, and FF6, and then the other one I didn't pick, so I don't know which one. But like, let's say it's FF6 first and FF7 after that. So like, these are like the top 5 basically. And then after that, probably like number 6 probably would be FF Tactics. So like and then maybe like I didn't play a whole lot of FF9, but like probably FF9 just from what I've played, and then maybe FF16. So like FF16 is like it's around the middle of the pack for me in terms of like my preference. I have some issues with FF13, but I need to replay it. At some point, I want to replay all the games. In fact, I'm probably going to do that soonish. And by that I mean like as soon as like probably like towards the like end of the year, I'm probably going to get like the Pixel remasters physical. And if I do that, then I'm going to play like all the games I never played. I never played like FF2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to get through those, and then 6 again, because I want to replay 6, and then like the original 7, and then 8, and so on. Obviously not all back to back, obviously, but yeah. I really want to get through Xenoblade. It's just those games are really long. So like I want to be able to like play one of those and then like take a break and play something else and then come back and play the next Xenoblade, for example. Because they're really freaking long games. That's the problem, right? Is that they're too long. And the other problem is, like, as a content creator, people get bored of watching a game if it goes on for too long, and then they stop showing up. That's why I want to play them on YouTube, because YouTube, to me at least, the streaming on YouTube doesn't matter if people are watching or not. I do it almost as if I would record myself on my own. So it feels to me almost like I'm playing on my own. I don't have the pressure of Twitch, kind of, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter to me as much. So I would probably enjoy myself way more. I had trouble enjoying myself with like the first Xenoblade as much on Twitch, because I kept feeling stressed out because people were stopped showing up basically, and it was stressing me out. She did, yeah. She got really burned out. Yeah, very true. I wouldn't do that. That's what I mean. Like, what I would probably do is I would do. There's two things actually. I would probably do like a Xenoblade game, and then something else that's shorter. Maybe even two games that are shorter, and then like another Xenoblade over on YouTube. But the cool thing is now that I have two platforms, I can do Xenoblade on one, and then the thing I play on the other, on Twitch for example, can be smaller titles in a totally different vein. And that way it will kind of palette cleanse, it'll be different, and then I won't get burned out as much because I'll have kind of the two things I can do. And again, with the addition of like YouTube not being as stressful of a platform to create for me and for other people that I talk to. Like I've been talking to Willie and some other creators that are streaming on YouTube, and it's the vibe of everybody. Everybody's feeling the same thing. It's like it just feels more chill. It doesn't feel like, I don't feel like any pressure at all. It's really weird. I just like, it makes me happy to create content on YouTube. I'm just like, I'm so happy to do it. I don't feel that way with Twitch most of the time. And it's not because of the people or anything. It's just like there's a weird kind of pressure to succeed and comparing yourself to others and stuff on Twitch that you just don't get on YouTube. And also, like, there's kind of an expectation of viewers. They kind of expect certain things on the channel that I don't do, and so that kind of annoys some people, and they stop showing up. Like, people like on Twitch to be able to pay to have a special alert with a special sound and scare you, and they kind of expect those things and they don't on YouTube, which is way more relaxing for me because I don't have to worry about that. There's no expectations for me to have them, and even if I did have them on Twitch, then it would just probably disrupt my playtime, and I don't even have to do that on YouTube. It's all those kind of weird things that like make me feel better about creating content on YouTube, just in general, without, you know, and there's a ton of other benefits obviously, but like that one specifically, especially for JRPGs, is so much better. And that's probably why D, for example, like Queen D, she gets really kind of in her head and stressed out about streaming a ton. Like it stresses her out so much, and that's probably because she spends all of her time on Twitch. I mean, there's underlying other issues in her real life, most likely, obviously, but like a big part of like the stress of streaming comes from the environment that Twitch is. It stresses her out. If people don't show up, it stresses her out. If she doesn't get her goals attained, it stresses her out. And I understand why it does that, mostly because it's her job, right? She doesn't work. That's literally her job. So if she doesn't make certain metrics or certain money, then she can't live. Basically, she needs to eat. But at the same time, it's like, it's that pressure. I'm so glad I don't have to go through that as much. And I feel super sad for her, because I really wish she could just feel what I'm feeling right now, which is kind of just, it's so relaxing. It's just so relaxing. So it's weird. I try to be on her stream as much as I can on Twitch. Even when I'm working, I try to just like be lurking, even if I don't say anything, and just lurk. I really want to support her as much as I possibly can, because I know how stressful it is, and I really want her to succeed. But I like, it just, you see what it does to someone, right? Like the stress, it's not cool, man. Because like you don't leave that at the door once you hit the off switch on the stream. You keep that with you, and it stays with you the entire day, and then it compounds the next day, and it's not fun.
I think mid might need some help.
And also like the choice of games on Twitch is kind of like, if you pick a game that people don't watch or are not interested as much in, then you have to stop, because otherwise you're killing your channel. Like, it's even if you like the game, like it's really annoying.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside.
Oh, it's a third part of the quest.
A layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge,
I'd go with
counsel I would
Hippocrates. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hippocrates.
Of course.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him? See what he makes of it?
I was sure. Like, I was like, let's go talk to the guy that knows all the things. Oh, yes. Encrypt. I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah, but it's exactly like I talked to a lot of, and I you know, streaming for so many years, I've talked to many creators over the years and stuff, and it's the same thing with everybody. Everybody eventually gets burned out on Twitch, and the main reason is all of those things, right? Like viewership, the fact that sometimes it goes down, it stresses you out. You compare yourself to others, it stresses you out. You play a game and like people don't show up because it's not a game that people enjoy, but you like it, but you have to stop. So like it annoys you that you can't play the game you want, and it stresses you out. And then you feel like you have to be live all the time, because whenever you're not live, your channel don't exist. So that stresses you out, and so it's too much. Hey Seb, what's up, man? You're a bit late, but you're here. Nice. So like all those things basically make it so that it's stressing. It's like stressing people out. Which again, I've talked to people that made the switch to YouTube and or are streaming on both, like I'm doing, and they all say the same thing, which is it is so much more relaxing. There's like a huge weight off of your shoulder when you start streaming on YouTube. It's insane. It's like vacation time, almost. And that's why I dropped my streaming schedule also a lot on Twitch over the years, is because it was stressing me out so much at some point that I just lost the spark. I just didn't have fun anymore. So now, and you probably noticed, I'm a lot more excited about content creation again. It's because of that kind of environment. It's more conducive to just creating without the pressure.
Hippocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Yep.
Actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Thermal shielding designs. Seb, are you playing this game, or would you play this game? I forgot. I'm pretty sure you said you weren't, I think.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps. It is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates.
I like
Since
Hippocrates.
you're
I don't
asking
like
me
his
to help you,
beard.
Perhaps I should too.
I don't like the way they design his beard, basically. Oh, Tarja, my favorite.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we go?
Oh, I can't save.
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Well, I can save now. So we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. I'm gonna go with Tarja first. I'm gonna go with Tarja first, and then I'm gonna go with the canon choice, because the canon choice is probably Jill, right? Like story-wise. But I really want to know Tarja, because she's the most interesting character to me, at least. I just like Tarja so much. Every time she shows up, I'm like, oh, it's Tarja. You played up to a certain part. Which part was that? Is it a part I've seen already, or is it like further along?
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Justinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Yeah, we'll start with Tarja.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic? Conch shells? Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
Right, others.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
FF7 was the worst for me because I mean I don't really care as much about Aerith, but like I would have gone Tifa all the way, right? But they made Jessie so much fun that I had the hardest time. Like it was so hard because I just liked both so much. Whenever we got towards the end, like whenever it's an actual choice between Tifa and Aerith, like I was a lot more into Tifa, obviously. But yeah, the characters are way more interesting. I agree. Yep. I have my issues with FF7 remake, but it's not to do with the characters. That's for sure. In fact, it's everything to do with a part of the combat. That's it. And some of the length and some of the areas you go into, like it feels kind of weird. It's weird that like you go into like super long areas and then like randomly there's just like, oh, this chapter is just side quests, and then like, oh, we're back into the story, and then like, oh, this chapter is just side quests. The pacing is weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like FF16 just needs more gravy. It's extremely solid on a ton of different fronts, but for me it just needs that just a bit more sauce. Give me the FF16 poutine. So we go to Northridge, right? Yeah. So it's
Where's Talia?
good question. Well, there she is. That was easy.
Need to stock up on these.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What should I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
I'm gonna get all the nuts you want.
Welcome.
There's a new item? Oh, it's probably this.
An excellent choice. Thank you. That's the best I can do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buy, sell, or be gone.
I don't want to go to a wedding tomorrow. It's outside, gonna rain. Oh no. Oh, dude, that's unfortunate. Pipio nuts. That's cheap.
If that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I want. It's super cheap too. Like 20 bucks? Like, come on.
What can I interest you in today? I trust it's all here.
10?
You're always welcome here in West Wing.
I almost have like 200k.
Fresh cuts. Come and get them. Up. You'll not find a bruised pippin in them.
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting.
Can we not spend some time?
But
Look at how pretty she
we're not
is.
in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
Dude, she's so pretty. Oh my god. And she's so much more interesting. Like in a normal FF game, she probably would be the character that's with you in the party because she's like she's a healer, right? So she would be the healer of the group or something. And I mean like in a proper JRPG turn-based game, for example.
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us.
No time for ramens in this game, unfortunately. But I would have gone on a date with her, like an actual date.
Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
Way more interesting. All right, time to load up the save. Yep, I agree. Because it kind of comes out of nowhere.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Taya.
Yeah, clearly not as interesting, for sure. But yeah, I wanted to go with the canon choice because why not? I didn't do that though with the with Gavin, the other guy, because I didn't realize.
No. Where's Jill?
I didn't think of like just doing like teleporting from like saving twice basically. I didn't think of that.
Are those Pepio nuts? I can never tell.
That's bread.
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
It is probably best that I take care of the pepio nuts since you seem to think that bread is nuts. I'll do the pepio nuts for sure. Wait, it's not even the same vendor. Oh no, it is.
And what can I do for you?
Unfortunately, I had to redo this because I didn't think of not doing it when I was with. I forgot that I was gonna redo
I do like a
the
customer
scene.
who knows what he wants.
So I have to redo this part.
Thank you. That's the best I can do. Thank you.
Oi, don't touch anything. Good riddance.
These nuts. Like a meme of like Jill just watching a butterfly, like the you know the meme, and like, is this like and instead of a butterfly it's bread, and she's like, is this nuts? No.
Much, but you're free to look. Ah, yes.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Come and get them before.
What if she's gonna be in the same exact position? Because so far she is. She's the same exact position as Tarja was. So like near the lake, are we gonna be like close-ish without getting close, or?
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Perfect. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells?
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
He's so
You
cute.
wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
Dude, I would like some pies. Like a good
And
pie
I
right
saw
now.
some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just, oh.
You all right?
She bought the entire market. Oh my god.
You're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
What's happening with Clive's face?
Thank you, Clive.
It's like a huge scar that goes like this, like that on the side, and like another one. Like it's like he's got like a triple cheek. That's actually from FF14. It's the same team from FF14, right? And in FF14, she also has a dog protecting her called and it's not Umbra, it's actually called Fenrir. And they didn't call Torgal Umbra, they called him Fenrir. Like when he was talking about the dog, he was like, oh, and it's from the legend Fenrir, and I was like, oh, like in 14. So I'm sure in 15 there's something too, because it's probably a thing that they keep reusing. But like, so like in 15 the dog is called Umbra. Is that what it is? Because in this one they called it Fenrir. Interesting. I think Umbra in this one isn't it the name of the star? Like the red star in the sky, isn't it called Umbra? I forgot the name of the star, but it rings like it reminds me a little bit of that. I should talk to our Porcutes and see, once we get it back, I'll double check, because I'm curious about that to see like what it is. It's the exact same scene. They just swapped the character basically. I mean, you know, there was a bit that was different, but like these two last moments are exactly the same.
I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
At least the lines are different, obviously. There's a lot more warmth in the dialogue between these two. For you know, for good reason, obviously. But yeah, it's because they didn't kind of make us spend enough time with Talia before. So like whenever we get to the scene, like you said, like it just feels not as good as it could have been, because it's not a real choice. Like you, obviously Jill is the romance option here. I mean, they kind of did.
Is getting on with the moon dew.
They kind of did with like some of the information, right? Like the part with like the pie and the basket and stuff. Like it was a lot more involved, and with Torgal, it was a lot more involved. The scene with Jill, but the end, like the way the character was positioned, was exactly the same. It's probably cheaper for them to do that though, so they don't have to do more animations.
Welcome back. I hope you two had fun while I was busy helping Harpocrates.
Talia, you're my favorite.
Ah, Clive. Harpocrates has all the ingredients. We were just waiting for you.
Oh.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, and Clive.
That'd be better.
It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, It will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me.
I'll let her know.
Thank you, Hippocrates.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured you meant. Actually, that's what I thought you meant.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Is there something I might assist you with, Clive?
Ask about Kupka.
I have said it many times.
Hugo Kupka was a murderer, but he was also a thief. A thief who robbed us of our happiness and of our hope. And though I know it is wrong to revel in the death of another, we can take solace in the fact that he will never steal anything from us ever again.
The story is ended.
Thank you, Clive. Awesome. Tet and Crow.
Were you aware
that in many cities, bearers are forbidden from having children? This belief that the ether used to bring a child into the world hastens the crystal's curse, lessening the mother's productivity. Such is in the world we live in. Unfortunately, Tet and Crow's parents were able to escape that world, if only for a few brief summers.
What of the twins themselves?
Born in the hideaway, one touched by magic, the other spared its burden. Their minds are blissfully untainted by the poisonous rhetoric of priests and politicians. They will grow up knowing there is no difference between man and bear, and they will pass that truth onto their own children, and they to theirs, until the world we live in now is but a footnote in the annals of history.
Yes, change will come.
And through a magic which requires no crystal to conjure, one that will endure long after the last mother crystal has fallen.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today?
Is the star here in Mysteries of the Realm? No. Maybe not. I thought it would have been here, but I don't see it. Do you see it? Maybe I went too fast in the other thing. In the other category. Oh, the name is Metia. Metia is the name. Okay. Frostwolf. Yeah, Frostwolf by the name of Fenrir, who was companion to the Queen of the Snows. Yeah, so it's the same name as in 14. It doesn't look quite the same as in 14 though, but it's the same name. And it's made by the same team, so I assume that's where they went from for their inspiration. But I'm assuming it's the same in every game basically. Like it always kind of is related to Shiva. Be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. I drank way too much water. Won't be too long. Okay, apologies for that. Yep.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Let's go. I feel like we're ready to be done with this chapter, I think. Unless there's like a fourth part to the quest, which is not impossible. It could happen.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Oh, the bear's plight. Few are those who would strive to lighten the burden borne by the crystals cursed. But if we are to survive the coming storm, we must stand together, bearer and brother, as you have shown us. A friend in Northreach. That's like the reward that's so not interesting. This one is interesting.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
So, out of curiosity, how many points can I get from these? Were I to do them? 10, so that's 20. 70. So I could get 70 more points.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come
Which
to claim your just desserts?
Would bring us to 640. And I need to get to 715. So we still have like quite some ways to go. Quite some ways to go.
I think Mid might need some help.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
Let's go.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference.
Same difference.
Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
She's laughing so hard, her face is not laughing. Damn, we did it.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
3 more?
Sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off
Thank
to get
God.
this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
Air fryers built, cookout. Barbecue time. Dude, she's got hairs for days. It goes down below her knees. It's too sad she's not in combat with us, because she, again, like her, like make her, Tarya, and like Gav in a party with me.
Mib told me she was building a ship.
That would be so much more interesting. Because she has a very, very kind of specific personality. Tarya has a very, very specific kind of personality. Gav also. And they could play off of each other. I'd be the dry one. Like, that'd be so cool. Or, you know, replace Gav with like Sid if, you know, Sid was still there.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Won't be a
Aye,
mo.
aye, Captain.
Yeah, I agree, Encrypt. Yep. Oh, we have side quests now. We have 2 side quests in here. Probably not including what's like out there, maybe?
How are you doing? Here you go.
No, that's it.
Enough?
All right. I guess it's time to do the side quest / the hunts. Although the hunts, I'm not sure if I can go there yet or not. Because they're, I mean, one of them I can, the S rank, but the other ranks, I don't know. They're in locations I don't have access to or didn't have access to before. Oh, what's down there? Is it? No, wait, no, it's not. This is in the shop? Yeah. Oh, it is.
Well, that's it then. Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother, if you've a mind to.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it will separate it out, just like that. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, that ain't good enough. Which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping you could help me out.
Sure.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. All right. Why not?
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. Couldn't believe my eyes. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain stream. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
If you wouldn't mind.
A bomb king, interesting.
I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame isn't exactly my forte. You, on the other hand...
All right. I'll see what I can do.
So if it's like last time we had one of those,
and a good hunting, eh?
so there'd be a new hunt that wasn't there before and now suddenly appeared. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to the to our room. Because we have another quest in our room, which I'm assuming might be from Jill. Maybe it's from a letter. Bomb sightings. Are you on the hunt for a bomb king, Kupo? If so, I have a BA that might interest you. Yeah, it's it. It's a new BA that just appeared. A curse breaker aiming for the Imperial chase took a wrong turn into a nearby wood, within which she discovered the ruins of a fallen airship, and within them a beast akin to a great ball of fire that chased her screaming from the grove. The soldier later identified the creature in an almanac of echoes, but was firm in her insistence that the bomb she saw was near 10 times the size of the one depicted therein. The Croc in Sambrec. I don't know where that is. Am I blind? I gotta be blind. That, or it's like in another section which I don't have access to yet. I don't think so though. In my mind, it has to be here somewhere. The Croc. What in the world is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. She was aiming for the Imperial chase. It's supposed to be somewhere in Sandbreck. No, not travel. She said she was aiming for the Imperial chase, and then she made the wrong turn and ended up in a place where there was a fallen airship. So she was aiming for the Imperial chase. So it might be here, because I haven't discovered this little area here. So it could be here, or it could be like in one of these places. So I probably should teleport here, basically. I think that's where it might be. Bro, I've...
Ready, go?
Can I press a marker? Yes.
Fly, Ambrosia.
I hate that the chocobos are so hard to control.
You deserve a rest.
Yeah, that's the Imperial chase. Like literally, this is it. How come I've never explored here? Was this locked before? Of all the music from the zones, this one reminds me the most of FF14. This place is huge. Look how big this is. The croc, yeah, look at that. Okay, hold on. Let me explore like up there. How come I've never been here? Evan Hall. How did I miss this? Whoa. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that too. There's too many of those. Like way too many of those. Oh, that's it? Okay. Don't seem too threatening.
Look what we have here. Greetings, Your Majesty.
Wait, he doesn't have a stagger bar. He can't be staggered. Oh, I see, I see. It just creates more. Okay, great. Oh, they die eventually. I took a lot of damage there. I kind of did it on purpose though, but oh, that's a lot of lots of dudes. Jesus Christ. Oh, that got me. Gonna kill itself in the tornado. There it is. Not bad. Bomb Ember.
Your reign is over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it.
It's always 3.
If a wine needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
It's literally always 3. Whatever we're gonna get for that though, like, because she said Tarja can use it for medicine, so maybe we can get better medicine again. It'd be the second time.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
That's cute. The children are like, they're like, oh, they're building a ship.
I think Mid might need some help.
Can you still see me? Testing, do you still see me? Yeah, okay. My OBS disconnected for like a second.
right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say otherwise. Right then, let's get this contraption up and running.
Let's go.
There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that, huh?
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest leather supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
So yeah, it's a potion bag upgrade. Yep.
It can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo.
Again with the mo. That didn't used to be a thing. Nobody said that before mid a second ago, and now everybody says it.
Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more flexible.
Right? Told you.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Interesting. There's like a thunderstorm going. Were the same exotic compound that was applied to the leather of the satchel be kneaded into a pair of boots, they should surely become supple enough to accommodate a man with 20 toes. Wow, 20 toes. Nice. I wonder how many more. He said 1 or 2 more. Oh. All right. Damn, that's cool. Let's go and pay a trip to Karen. Can surely buy some. Probably should I'm already maximum, okay. So getting back home seems to reset my HP.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
I always assumed that I had to rest somehow, but I guess not. Or level up. I didn't realize that teleporting back to town was like healed me.
He cracked the crystal too.
Wait.
You're joking. And what can I do for you?
Right now, potions. That's what you can do.
You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Come again.
Wait.
Or don't. I'm not much. But don't just stand there, go.
That's it, okay.
Finished, are you?
I feel like mementos, like this place here, is severely underused. I've only found, what, 2 items? Roughly? Whoa. Okay. 3 side quests? About Blackthorn. Cheers for your help dragging Blackthorns out of the dumps the other day. Thing is, I reckon he's gone and thrown himself back in, judging by the droop of his jowls lately. So I'm thinking maybe it weren't just the leather that was in his mind. Maybe there's other demons jabbing their pitchforks into his privates. And damn, I know you're a busy bloke, but next time you find yourself free, maybe we could go and ask the old bastard what's got him so hot and bothered. Assuming it ain't just the forge. Sure.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
I didn't even know you could get quests from here, man. It's the first time I notice. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because I looked at him and he wasn't listing any of those. He doesn't list stuff that is in your hideaway. So he lists all the stuff that is outside of the hideaway. Clive, something ain't right with that hound of yours. When it pleases your lordship, come pay me a visit at the toll. Sure.
What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him.
Yeah, me too, but I never noticed the table. So, it might just be that it's the first time we ever get quests from the table.
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgor?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it he said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Best Karen, yeah.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
So Arpo is gonna be the guy.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
A gun.
What was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me, the edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out.
Could arm
swords are
me.
always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I literally saw her 2 seconds ago.
You show Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, and he's a touch eccentric, if you take my meaning.
I don't.
I appreciate the warning.
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean, Karen? You speak to those quests because Blackthorn is also dry? I mean, you're not wrong. He's super dry. Again, needs sauce.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frostwolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frostwolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Sure.
Good hunting, Clive.
I can certainly go there. I know exactly where that is. Is that the closest? Debatable, but I think so. No, actually, I think Eastpool is closer. Which I've avoided going back to Eastpool because I think nobody lives there anymore. Nobody came back to live there.
Let's go.
Oh, it's all good, Encrypt. Love your face, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll be live again tomorrow, though you probably won't be there because of the wedding. Enjoy your wedding, though. I mean, not your wedding, but the wedding you're going to. Even though it might rain. It's gonna rain. Thank you.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of antelopes. Elder antelopes.
You hungry, Torgal?
There we go. That was easy. Oh, not enough to level up. Close. So close, but no.
Now. Will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks.
Yeah, but also, like, I can't go back here to kill giant antelopes every single time.
You're a
Like,
big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy.
like there's got to be a better solution. Like, or...
You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Like, honestly, like, this is not a permanent solution. Like, this isn't enough, man. Yeah. Like, you'll need more food. And probably soon, too.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Back again, are you? Any more trouble and you'll be barred for life, however deep your friend's pockets might be.
The St. Drake's Fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
Calm yourself. We don't know for sure. It could have just been a tremor.
I mean, just look at it, man. It's not hard. Just look. You'll see that it's gone.
My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
No, sure, I'll do it. What's up?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed.
Wait, where's that?
Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
The bandit's
That will be
bed.
very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Interesting. Where could that be? All the way back up here? It's about roughly the same distance, I feel like. Probably not any faster to go one way or the other.
Let's go. Faster.
Thank God for the bird, man. Yeah, I'm still disappointed by the enemy variety. It's always the same kind of monsters. There's really not that many monsters in this game. There's not even cactuars in the desert. Also, I noticed there's no minigame either. Usually FF games have a minigame or two. This one doesn't have any.
We've got company. Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off.
There he goes. His name is the Innkeeper. Oh wow, I tried to dodge that, but that didn't work. Again, I tried to dodge.
Well done, Tor.
There he goes. Oh, is that enough? It is. Very good.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamel.
Do I just teleport there automatically? It'd be nice. I do. Nice.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship.
Okay.
No combat should ever exceed a single strike.
Oh, so like,
and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does.
so the samurais.
Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
I wonder who that is.
There are many other collectors out there.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield.
Oh my god, that's so good!
Perennial thorn in my side.
Oh, that's so good!
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Ready?
Oh my god. Oh, this is so good. Wow.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Oh my god. I would like, for a second I was like, oh, would it be my uncle? There's no way. And then he names him. I'm like, oh no.
Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Sure, let's do that.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
Sorta.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, eh? I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Actually, I wasn't. I was kind of hoping that this was it. But I guess not. I guess we have to go and see him.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought, but one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
So he gets more powerful every time we meet another.
He will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
Oh, that's cute. That was a cool little side quest. Slightly increases Torgal's attack potency, but I would have to equip it on me. So no.
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A slab of rock quarried over on the southern continent. Its unparalleled hardness makes it perfect for sharpening blades forged from all manners of metals, from bronze to adamantite.
A whetstone?
Yes, but not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right. I will.
What are the materials? Excalibur? Oh my god, what? Oh, I need to know what the materials are. Wait, it's a blue weapon though. It's not even purple?
What do you want?
Silken sash. That's new? Also, there's a new accessory, potentially. Like silken something and diamond armlets. Although diamond armlets are not great. Even if I get like a +2, it's not going to be enough, probably. Yeah, even the hunter or something. But the silken sash is probably better if I get a +2. Probably beats what I'm wearing right now. Yo. Though modern days plays such as The Adventure of Sir Crandall have taken to embellishing the tales considerably, historians do agree that long ago the nations of Valistia were for a short time united under a single king and his band of loyal knights. Whether or not he was indeed crowned upon drawing a sword from a stone is a matter still for debate. Grimalkin hide. We have the bomb ember though. Wait, there's a better sword already? Diamond sword? Wait, diamond sword, really?
Anything else?
So we could make the diamond sword. Can I...
And what can I do for you? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Oh, she doesn't have silk sash. She doesn't have silk sash to buy. Do you have diamond sword? She doesn't. Oh, so I can't buy them anymore. I have to craft them from scratch? Yo.
Come again.
Well, okay then. That's gonna
I'm not much bothered either way.
be expensive.
Not saying fortune, do you?
I can't because I need a white worm bone. I can't even make that. What about the what about the sash? Is it the same? Yeah, I need a bone too. So I'm probably, whenever I get a bone, I'm probably gonna get 2.
And
interesting.
He cracked the crystal too.
It was this last quest. I was thumbing through the hideaway ledgers at Otto's behest and might have come across something that might need your attention, maybe, and by that I mean immediately. You know where I'll be.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
Weird.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto won't be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle.
zero, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. And I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
5 million? I don't even have close to that.
Those ledgers were my responsibility. And it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Sure.
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe, and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Oh my god, that was great.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, this is great. Right, so Martha is easy. Because you teleport directly in front of her inn. I wonder if it's just a matter of like going in and talking to her, or if it's like a side quest, like another task to do.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
One of 3 brilliant gemstones acquired and set aside by Sid for a rainy day. Otto now deems that day to have arrived and wishes to use the rubies to pay off 3 outstanding debts, so Lady Karen, Martha, and Martha's rest. Okay, so interesting.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
That was hilarious. Okay. Let's go to see the dame. We haven't seen her in forever.
There's talk that the glass gate flood.
Did you hear?
The gates to heaven.
I want to see you again.
The gates to Heaven Hall in the area were breached by someone or something. So I couldn't access it recently. Until recently. That's why I missed it. Good to know.
Sweet water and oil of talc. Still no.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me.
Oh my
Tell
god.
Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive.
She said it was
I doubt
like...
anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
He did?
Long ago. Yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Okay, well that was it.
I want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
He's still with us. If he's not dead. Oh my god, that was great. I feel like the side quests are getting more and more interesting in the dialogue that they're kind of, you know, sharing.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Goat. It's Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Okay. Of course, I have to do everything myself. I should have just gone for all of them right away. That would have made more sense.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not.
Fair enough.
Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
Who's that?
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used, either out of habit or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
And most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take.
Damn.
Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... oh, forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when All I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Damn, dude, this is tough. We're getting more Sid? Oh, nice. Oh, and Tarya too. Look at and Karen.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall.
Man, what a dude.
But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine.
Gonna be added to my mementos.
For the ray of sunshine I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
That's gonna be my memento, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a curiosity. I was right. According to Otto, Sid never once washed his goblet despite using it every day for both wine and small beer. I won't have it said that I'm a poor host. So now it's displayed over here. Cool.
All right, Clive. Asterix. Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
But she's not here anymore? She left?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens.
Oh?
Got a letter for you.
From her?
By the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obolus.
Don't mention it.
It's from my uncle, so it's not from her, so.
What tidings, Uncle?
My dear boy, my journey to Canberra has been a resounding success. The friend I mentioned not only agreed to share the contents of his strongbox with us, but his considerable knowledge of the goings-on in the Free Cities, by which I learned of the endeavors of a certain young friend of yours. Though I, for one, believe Miss Telemont's project to be quite the valiant enterprise, I doubt that Canverian authorities will take kindly to the unauthorized use of their dockyards, no matter how deserted. And if rumor has already reached my friend, it may not be long before the guildmasters are rapping at our door. Which is why I penned you this note. I would like to borrow your man Gav for a moon or two, that he might keep a watch on those who might mean our little fellowship ill, and warn us of any impeding attack. I trust that you will give the proposal your full consideration. Your loving uncle.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So Gav it is.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
Sure. Oh, I have to go right now? Oh, damn it. I thought I still could like walk around and do stuff. I guess not.
Cid. I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Oh, she went with Goot. And Karen, apparently.
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The Blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you. But we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot.
Oh my god.
There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Oh my god.
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Again, I have to go there. No, I can go back to the hideaway. If I go back to the hideaway, am I allowed to go other places or no? Darn it, man. Wait. I wanted to do some hunts and stuff. There's a letter too. Okay, we're gonna save here. We'll continue this tomorrow morning. We're streaming this again tomorrow morning. It's gonna be at 10 a.m. and we'll continue this. We'll continue. Apparently, we're still in Out of the Shadow. This freaking quest is unending. Yeah, we'll continue this and we'll see what happens. We'll see like if we can get ourselves towards the next bit, which I assumed was going to be. I assumed tonight we were going to be able to do Out of the Shadow and then the next one. Unfortunately, not. So I guess tomorrow we're going to do the other bit. But yeah. Yeah. That's it basically. So thank you so very much for watching the stream. I really appreciate it. We'll see each other tomorrow. And yeah, we'll continue. We'll do the next quest, which I think is like chapter 36, and then hopefully we can go into Twinside and destroy that crystal. That'd be nice. I'd love to do both of those things tomorrow. So hopefully we can have a nice long stream tomorrow and do those two things at once, and maybe even if we can do the hunts if we have time to do the hunts that we have not done yet. So yeah, that's the plan. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you love the stream, or if you watching this after the fact, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really helps out. And yeah, we're approaching 1,000 subscribers, which is the big goal of mine. I would love to reach it. That'd be great. And yeah, I'll be uploading more of the playthrough from way back when onto YouTube, as well as finishing Diablo 4 playthrough uploads and getting ourselves some the end of Bramble. And I think I'm missing one. Oh yeah, we played The Expanse yesterday, so we're going to be uploading The Expanse as well, chapter 1. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again. Love your faces, and I'll see you guys next time.